Welcome to the Nagual Zone. I am Anaam. Today, place of no pity. No pity. Arriving at the place of no pity. I'll tell you something. I have extensively studied and lived through, applied many different religions, traditions. I've been in a cult, bona fide, actual cult, Christian cult. Best time of my life. I still deeply appreciative of what I learned there and what it took to get out of that cult. Just grew me. Oh, fantastic. I would not be me. I love to be me because I know what I've lived through, the richness that life has offered me and continues to offer me in terms of knowledge, know-how, and finding the causes of my own ignorance, as a great man once said. Place of no pity. First of all, let's get it straight. The place of no pity is merely aligning yourself, your perception of yourself with how things actually are. That's all it is. But it's a humongous task for people born in the worldwide cult of the parasite. If you ever been doesn't make any sense, but if you had been born in a cult, or if some of you have been born in a cult and you've managed to see through it and come out of it, you know what it takes when it starts to dawn on you slowly that everything that you've known in your life is actually bullshit. It's complete bollocks. That's a momentous occasion when cult babies, they grow up and they start realizing, wow, this is all complete bollocks. That's exactly where you're at. Now, by the way, this video is part of a bigger meeting, Sunday masterclasses. This video is just a part of that meeting. I encourage you to come and attend these meetings. After this video, the actual question and answers will go on, and I will also introduce, there are two contentions that warriors put forth when it comes to the place of no pity. I'll explain both of them to you in as much detail as I can. And then there's a third one which is reserved for the attendees, and that point again ties up the previous two properly. I will also be starting subscriptions on YouTube by tomorrow, day after. Go and subscribe. If you like a fancy emoji for $1 every month, whatever, you can have that, or some badge that YouTube wants you to have. Good, I'll get the money from you, you get the badge. But I will be doing a tier where I think for $10 you get access to one full Zoom live masterclass, and for escalating like that. So watch out for all of that. Anyway, back to place of no pity. The first thing you have to get to, this is the first gate you have to cross. Don't kid yourself, no philosophies here, no religions, no mind bullshit. If this is not your life evidence, then you will not be arriving at the place of no pity anytime soon. Believe me. Again, these points are in order of escalation, of difficulty. First one, you must come to realize that absolutely everything about you is born out of self-importance. You have to get to this place. One attendee some time ago had this question. He said, well, I've started feeling and seeing that everything I do is just pure self-importance. It's incredible to see. And then he had a question for that. That's the place you want to get to. Now, I know for a fact that this person's been very attentively, diligently, and relentlessly investing their time and focus, attention on ever-increasing amounts, cultivating inner silence. Cultivating ever-increasing amounts of inner silence. So there's a lot of inner silence work for many years that has gone on in this person's life. That's when they have arrived, they've started seeing this. So That's what I meant when I said to the attendees before the video started that there is a preliminary work that must be done. And the only way the warriors have figured out to get to a place within themselves where they can, where their perception and reality is one thing. There's no gap. There's no difference. Their perception, how they see themselves and their surroundings, and how it actually is, it's one and the same thing. No more smoke and mirrors. No more delusions. No more nonsense inside. So you see how it all ties up? You don't do work on your inner silence. And by the way, reminding you again, inner silence is really not a good term. It's more like let things be as they are inside you. That's the ability you must cultivate. The ability to let things be as they are. Don't interfere. You don't need to be doing any nonsense within yourself. Relax. Just relax. See? Easy. Just be. What's your problem? What is your problem? Why can't you just be? What is your problem? Oh, but the world is a tough place. Fine, yeah, and then what? What is your problem? Just be, man. What's wrong with you? Right? So first of all, many years must be spent in really learning how to just relax and let things be in your inner world. That does not mean that you are being asked to be complacent and like a spiritual retard. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. There is work to be done and consistent, relentless work to be done. Warriors are never idle. And if they are idle, you can believe it that that's part of their strategy. Okay, my entertainment is carefully crafted. I don't do idle. I'm never idle. I'm in fact multitasking constantly. I call it micro work. One day I'll make a video on micro work. You'll get so much done in 24 hours. With the idea of micro work. So much done. And it'll all be a joy to do. None of it will be irritating or, well, sometimes can be irritating. But, you know, it'll be a lot easier than doing these big chunks that the parasite has taught you. 8 hours working for some other person as an indentured slave. Big chunks of investment of your day. That's what the parasites taught you. It started in, do you know what it started in? Can you guess? Yes, labor camps for children, indoctrination camps for children. They're called schools. That's where you are taught to invest huge chunks of your day in doing nothing. Complete nonsense. And so that habit carries on. The parasite ties it up with resource gathering. Do nothing, invest your time in complete nonsensical bullshit. And we'll give you a piddly bit of resources for your indentured slavery. It's called having a job. I got a job. Wow. Life is so good, man. I got a job. That is the sum total of your pitiful state. So, pitiful state reminds me that we're on the topic of no pity. So, the first one is after much inner silence cultivation, you must arrive at a natural insight. It's a natural insight for you to one day be able to see that, you know what? Wow, that was so important of me. And then you'll start noticing more and more and more things about you that are just, wow, that's so self-important. Oh my God, I'm so entitled. What is this? And more and more. And eventually, suddenly there's a flood of it in your consciousness and you go, wow. Oh, there's almost nothing I do that is not born out of my entitled, self-important mentality. If you don't get there, you have no way to get to arriving at a place of no pity. Now that's the easy bit. The next bit is the hard one, because that one you do constantly despite knowing better. You know what the second one is? Self-importance cannot be negotiated with. You can't do it. It cannot be negotiated with. It cannot be negotiated with. Let me make that clear. You cannot negotiate, shake hands, make pacts, make some kind of agreement with self-importance. Can't do it. Warriors have tried, many have tried, everyone has failed. Self-importance is the game of negotiation with itself. It wants you to negotiate. It wants you to shake hands with it. It wants you to open up the communication channels and ask, what is wrong with you, my darling? Oh, what can I do for you? Oh, I am such a woke person. I am awake. That's what your fucking self-importance wants you to do. And like a stupid fool, you do it again and again and again. It's called compromising. Do you know what the difference is between the average man and the warrior? The warrior isn't compromising on their self-importance. The warrior is uncompromising. But you, let me tell you what you are. And I hope you see this one day for yourself. I'll tell you exactly what you are. You're a prostitute of the parasite. That's exactly to the T what you are. And what are your friends to you? Your friends and your family, do you know what they are to you? They are the pimps for your prostitution to the parasite. That is the sum total of your life. And the only way you're going to stop doing that is by actually realizing the truth of what I just said in your life. Really, it should hit like a hammer and cave you in. But you know why? It will be nearly impossible for you to realize this and change your ways. Because you have very little self-value. You have no dignity. You're shameless in your prostitution. Shameless. You weren't taught. These are not accusations. These are, I am saying that one day I hope you can get out of that prostitution by realizing that that's all you are allowed to be, ever. It's the only way for you to get out of it. If you don't realize it, you will never get out of it. And that brings us to the tough part of self-importance, is that you're constantly negotiating with your own self-importance. And that is the way self-importance perpetuates itself in you. You are unable to say no. It's not going to happen. You're unable to say that. You know why? Oh, because my livelihood depends upon that. Oh, how will I pay my bills? That's the big one. The parasite's got everyone by the balls. Get this and shove a banana up your ass because otherwise you can't get a job. That's the sum total of your prostitution. And I'm talking to all of you lot, if you millionaires and so-called billionaires, if you ever watch a video like this, or this video, this applies to you. You didn't get to where you were without prostituting your very soul. And you know what I'm saying is absolutely 103% correct. You don't get to be Elon Musk without being a complete whore for the parasite. You don't get to be Bill Gates without being a complete mind-controlled, that's an MK Ultra child, by the way. There's many of them running around. Britney Spears and all these people are all MK Ultra experiments as children. Then they're given false histories, false parenting, false identities, and in they go into society, and they grow up according to the parasite's wishes. There's loads and loads of them. Justin Timberlake, anyone remember that guy? Loads of Hollywood people. There's just tons and tons of them everywhere. All this vast mind control experiment. Another topic entirely. You must realize your prostitution, and you must realize that your prostitution perpetuates itself because you say yes to it. You negotiate. You open up the diplomatic channels with your own self-importance, and thus it leads you down yet another prostitution job that shafts you up the ass, and then you cry, "Oh, life is so hard. Oh, my life. I wish I was dead." Yeah, exactly. When sleep isn't coming at night, that's what you're thinking. That's what you're doing. Bemoaning your life. Because your life is shit. That's why you must bemoan your life. I say bemoan your life. Hopefully that will get you to do something about it. But you don't even bemoan your life. You're so apathetic that you're happy to just go and that's it. Right back to your prostitution the very next day. And filling yourself up with nonsensical philosophies and fancy words like self-importance. I know all about that now. I read Castaneda's book, man. Oh, I watched Anaam's video. Now I know everything about self-importance. Yeah, and what? You're still a prostitute, aren't you? So get a grip on your reality, because only you're the captain of your own ship. And I'm telling you, despite what the parasite wants you to believe and has deep conditioning and has applied deep conditioning to you, despite what the parasite wants you to believe, you are an incredible luminosity. You have no idea of the power that you can wield. But that power can only be accessed through inner silence. There's no other way. Believe me, if there was another way, warriors would know about it. There is no other way. All other ways are ways of self-importance. All other ways. Even then, inner silence work, I have seen some of the most self-important people after doing inner silence work. It feeds their self-importance. And then they lose their human form. I've met people lost their human form and so full of hubris, so full of themselves. And it's like, wow, you may have lost your human form, but you got a long way to go to mature, to become mature. It's amazing. Many years ago, I used to think losing your human form will solve all the problems. And one becomes like some kind of levitating Jesus figure or something. I'll do another video on the inner details of losing self-importance, what that means. But for now, this is the tough bit. You have to learn to stop negotiating with your self-importance. You must do it. You must learn it. And once you stop negotiating with your self-importance, something magical will happen. You'll start gaining real personal power, the genuine kind. Your inner force will start coming out. And that's when you will have real problems with your fellow man, because they will all either get threatened and gang up on you, or they'll run away from you. And either way, you'll find yourself alone. This is why most people don't go there. Warriors don't give a shit. We don't even want to keep the company of the average man, because who wants low quality energy, toxic environments? I don't. I keep the company of equal or higher. Always. That's my paradigm. Equal energy, quality of energy, or higher quality of energy. It's the only two kinds of humans I hang out with. That's it. And believe me, there's not a lot of those around. So choose who you hang out with, because you become the company you keep. And the company you keep will either feed your self-importance to do more black magic on you and teach you how to do more black magic on yourself, or you can keep elevated company and learn what the ways of power really are. So these are the two main points. Recapping, everything you do, think, behave, everything is born out of entitled self-importance. Second one, self-importance cannot be negotiated with. The moment you think about that, that is self-importance. And I'm challenging you to, you've just heard a philosophy as far as you're concerned. Just a bullshit philosophy. You've just heard that. I'm challenging you to verify this in your life. Do that inner silence work for the next 5 years, right? Let's see what you're made of. You're Mr. Big Shot, huh? Let's see what you're made of. Done many good things in your life, yeah? Many feathers in your cap? Good. Let's see what you're made of. When it really counts. That's my open challenge to you. Put your comments, your thoughts, whatever you want to share about this video in the comments below. And there's the third point, which I stated before. That is for the attendees now, which I will tell them. And again, I encourage you to come and join these master classes, right? The most fun is had here. And we talk about so much more than just this little snippet you get in the video. Remember, subscriptions will be coming. If you want to subscribe and get the content there, well and good. Otherwise, I hope you get a lot out of this video. I would love to hear your comments. Keep them intelligent. Retarded comments get deleted. If you haven't taken your medication and you're going to say something, don't say it. No one wants to hear it. Don't say it. Express yourself clearly. If you don't know English, there's Google Translation. Just don't come and bullshit on my channel, or I won't be seeing you ever again. I'll kick you out. On that note, happy note, remember your luminosity. Walk in freedom, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.